Hello, my name is Pierre Belizaire. I will be discussing the Vietnam War and its effects that it had domestically on the United States, and also my thoughts. But a focus on the domestic effects it had on our country. The Vietnam War was between 1955 and 1975. It was a very long war, and it had a very huge death toll. Many Americans died fighting this war. Many Vietnamese died fighting this war. The war first started about communism and America's ideologies, and it was presented to the public as such. When we proceeded to invade Vietnam, many many Americans did not agree with this. We were very anti army, going to foreign places to conquer because that's what happened in Vietnam. The Vietnamese just wanted to exist without foreign affairs affecting their liveliness. First it was the French, and then after during World War II, it was the Japanese. Then after World War II, it was back to the French, and they pushed them away. Then the communism came, followed by America. And what was really going on, we weren't helping. There was many atrocities that happened in Vietnam. There was what is it? What is it? The My Lao massacre, things of the such. It was like a dictatorship. There was racism. They were being treated poorly, and things of the sort was revealed through things of the sort were revealed through the Pentagon Papers. The Pentagon Papers exposed this, which really put a bad taste in the American people's mouth. The violence that erupted from this was mostly due to the draft, the draft forcing soldiers over there. People did not agree with that at all. Um, Kent State was a good example of how serious people felt against the Vietnam War and the politics that was happening during that time. 6 people died that day due to the police in protest to the war efforts. 6 college students from Kent State. Once the American people saw the Pentagon Papers, they were aware that the reasoning behind the war was a lie. It was not to help them at all. Um, Other things that hindered the people in the United States were Roe v. Wade, where women started to change their livelihoods. They started having jobs. They were going for Supreme Court, even vice president, and they got their ability to take contraceptives and have abortions. Um, but while all this is happening, Nixon is still invading Cambodia and Laos. He is going completely against what the American people want, going against what the women of that time wanted, what the men wanted. This creates a turmoil. Woodstock and what happened at Woodstock is a good example because, again, people are dying. People died. It was a lot of violence at Woodstock. Even though it was about peace, it also shined a light on the economical strain that this war was having on America. Whereas the Hells Angels were hired because they were cheaper, and people still died at Woodstock. The change that the Vietnam War had on the American people, as far as politics go, not Nixon, the War Powers Act stopped the ability for a president to just send people to war as much as he want. It also created a lowering of Vietnam, of the age group that existed, the age group that was allowed to vote. It made it 18 years old, which was great. People also decided to no longer go to foreign wars after the Vietnam War because we inevitably lost. And Vietnam was destroyed by bombs and chemicals and led by dictators. It gave us what is called Vietnam Syndrome. This made us stay away from foreign affairs. Eventually, the politics caught up to Nixon, and he was impeached through Watergate. Watergate was what impeached Nixon, and this was his final. This is the picture. This is what he did on his impeachment. Put two deuces up as he left. Woodstock was a huge concert with hundreds of thousands of people and complete chaos. And this is Laos, the war-torn country of Vietnam. The continuity of the influence of the Vietnam War was the ending of the draft, which is great, and people still being allowed to vote at the age of 18, which is also amazing, and also the War Power Act. The consequences were horrible. We faced economical shattering socially. We were separated, and politically, the president was impeached, which is horrible. But Vietnam eventually became one of the poorest countries in the world because of the bombs and the chemicals. And that was the effects of the Vietnam War, the good and the bad. Thank you.